Hi everybody, welcome to this week's edition of the CertiK Security Leaderboard Showcase. I'm your host, Aaron Leibowitz, and as you all know well by now, in this showcase I host a guest for a live AMA where we discuss their work with CertiK, the Security Leaderboard, and we throw in some questions from you, the viewers. Our goal is to raise the standards of security in the DeFi ecosystem. The Security Leaderboard, found at CertiK.com, is a free tool to help you safely navigate the blockchain space. Today I will be joined by the Orica team. They're contributing $500 worth of ORI token for today's top live questions. Make sure to read the rules on the @CertiK community Twitter post in order to qualify for rewards. So a big thank you to the Orica team. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the Orica leaderboard listing. So this is the landing page on CertiK.com on the Orica page. Scrolling down, you're going to see an audit history, Skynet. Continuing down, you'll see a sentiment analysis with social keyword aggregation, market volatility, and on-chain monitoring activity. Now let's go ahead and bring in today's guests. Denial, Evan, how are you guys doing?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Of course, glad to have you on here. So why don't we start with a quick introduction from each of the two of you and go from there.
Sure. My name is Daniel. I'm a co-founder of Orica in the crypto space since 2017. Previously worked at Energy Cryptocurrency. Was responsible for market making, operation activities, exchange listings, and saw the need to create an ethical NFT marketplace since the NFT Marketplace was not that ripe, and we had many conversations with artists. So since then, we are into this space. Thanks again for having us.
Fantastic. And Evan, do we have you here to give an intro? I think we might be having some technical issues on his end. We might have to come back to that. So in the meantime, Danal, why don't we sort of kick off? Can you give us, you were talking about an ethical NFT marketplace, the reasons for it. Can you step a little more in depth on how artists are supported? I understand the very simple minting process and low fees on BSC, of course, but beyond that, how are they really supported?
So once 2021, at the beginning of 2021, I wanted to create art myself. I wanted to create NFTs myself, and I went to existing platforms and saw many hurdles. For example, one being the minting fee, right? It was $100 plus. Then there was the UI UX of the existing platforms. Then many issues, and so we have the mentality, if something is missing or we don't like, we want to create it ourselves. So we went ahead and created an NFT marketplace with almost zero fees. Binance Chain was very good for that, since Binance Chain is very accessible. It has a lot of users, and most wallets are on Binance Chain, and the fees are low. It's proof of stake, so environmental friendly. We had many interviews, so a lot of interviews with one-on-one conversations with artists, and the number one concern they had was that they want their name being not connected with damage or hurting the environment. So we went ahead and heard their voices, created our own marketplace with zero fees, and on top of that, every transaction will help a cause that the collector wants. So this is our goal, and these were our motivations.
Fantastic. I love that. That's sort of a great background story. You sort of skipped the, maybe we can improve this. Now you went straight to, we're going to build it ourselves.
Exactly. And so you have to always first talk to the consumers you want to serve. And we felt like the existing platforms are not doing this. So most artists were extremely sad that they cannot enter NFTs, because they are very cautious about what they produce and what effect it has.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So would you say that has changed now? Do you think the artists are happier on your platform?
Of course, we are not that big right now, but we are seeing already why many artists will join our platform with time. But you see all over all over Twitter, for example, these complaints, and so yeah, we are hearing this, and we want to build what the consumer wants, and yeah, we are going from that. And yeah, environmental is really important in this century we are living in.
Absolutely. All right, so I do think that Evan is able to talk now.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Sorry
Evan,
about
how you
that.
doing? No worries. Do you want to go ahead and give us an intro, a little background on yourself?
Sure. So I worked with Daniel previously at Energy Core. I was in the ops team with Daniel. He pretty much mentored me while we were there. My background is mainly in DeFi and market making. I assist with exchange listings and a lot of other smaller things within Orica. So I'm the head of ecosystem growth. So my goal is to grow out the token and get listed on new exchanges and things like that. So if there's any questions towards the end of this video about those, I'll answer those.
Fantastic. So we've already gotten quite a few live questions here. Let's go ahead and knock a couple of these out. Can you share with us the background on the name?
So Orica means original cards. So maybe you are in. If you watch anime or play card games, trading card games, Orica is used by fans that create art around that hobby. For example, you have Yu-Gi-Oh or you have Pokemon, and Orica cards are basically designed by fans, so not by the company itself. So that means original cards, short Orica. That's the word for it.
Interesting. I didn't know that. All right, very cool. So continuing on here, you guys, do you guys have any plans to be involved in the Binance NFT Marketplace as well, or are you going to sort of be siloed in your own space?
I think we are serving different audiences, and so our goal is also not being limited to one chain. This is why we are on purpose on the Ethereum blockchain, but on a different network. So we are still connected. Yeah, so it really depends on the consumer and what they want. So if we see fit, we might change. And a lot of people in our community want us to create our own blockchain, which I don't think is a really good idea. I think there is enough infrastructure that is well developed already. So
that makes sense to me. Creating your own L1 for an NFT marketplace alone seems like a
crazy.
large undertaking.
Yes.
All right, so thank you for that. Do you expect artists to sort of use a part of their earnings to donate? Or how do you see donations really working? Where's the revenue stream for donations happening?
So it is not expected, but as I said, this is what artists want themselves. So we are not forcing them. And actually, it was not our main priority or the main feature of our platform to have charity functions or involve social impact organizations, but the artists wanted it so bad. So all of them told me, especially since crypto, I mean, what we are doing also is basically cleaning the image of crypto, right? Since it's really bad. Also with artists, the first conversation is always NFTs. I think it's scam, and then we describe 5 minutes the benefits, and they're like, "Wow, it's amazing technology. Why didn't we know that?" So yeah, so based on those conversations, we went towards charities and donating, and that's what they do anyways. Charity and donations is happening since hundreds of years. I mean, so yeah, we are leveraging on that.
Very interesting. I mean, that's fair. If that's what artists are saying that they want to be doing, that makes a lot of sense to me. Then that will actually happen over time. So speaking about these initial conversations that start with, cleaning up the crypto image, people being very skeptical when you first approach them about the crypto space, how do you plan to attract non-crypto investors, sort of people who are new to the space?
The fun thing about NFTs is that it is not really limited to crypto. So it feels to artists like it's a different technology than crypto. It is still connected, but you don't actually need really crypto knowledge to have an NFT, right? I mean, Eminem has it, and you can be pretty sure he has no time for it, right? So so that's the fun part with NFTs. So that makes it actually better for mass adoption. And so a bit lost track of your question, but NFTs are already much easier to bring to artists than, for example, crypto. And right now we have even alternatives where you can use your email to buy an NFT. And so yeah, that makes it already more accessible. For example, even on OpenSea, you can use Wallet Connect, and that's your email, and you get a wallet. I mean, obviously, you want to have the seed phrase, but you can imagine 99% don't even know what a wallet is. So a seed phrase is even further ahead. I think it's a second step. First step should be getting people involved, and NFTs are doing a very good job. And we want to go even one step further, which is metaverse. And for that, you don't need actually any knowledge. You just need a very good laptop, since it is a bit laggy. For example, Decentraland. But there you can also connect with people and gather them there and exchange information.
Yeah, I have.
I think that answered your question, right? Still, it answered your question.
Yeah, at some point you sort of touched on it. I'm lucky I have a gaming rig, so I've been able to boot up Decentraland and Sandbox and play around with them without too much issue. But certainly still, it's more accessible than regular crypto. I do understand what you're saying, but it's still, NFTs have a, if you look on Twitter, not crypto Twitter, or Reddit, for example, you'll see a lot of negative sentiment surrounding crypto, NFTs in general. Do you think that this is something that's here to stay, that negative sentiment? Do you think you're always going to have these haters, or do you think that a lot of these people are going to become converts and start buying into the space after a while?
Look, you always will have haters. I mean, in my head, I have also a negative voice, and it depends really on me if I want to hear it or not. You know what I mean? So I can also just not listen. You have always this whisper, but although it's very easy to troll on the internet. I mean, it was always very easy. And to be honest, minting on Ethereum blockchain, on the Ethereum network, is like it pollutes the environment. Like you drive a car for 4 hours. I think that's very bad, and I'm also not a fan of that. And this is that was one of the first reasons we wanted to create an NFT marketplace. It was having an environmental friendly solution, and back then, almost 1 year ago, there was no solution. It was just OpenSea. You had to go there, spend $100. I mean, I can donate those $100. You know what I mean? So also. And you're basically giving it to miners, which is, I mean, fine. This is the system, how it works. But yeah, Ethereum is trying to go to proof of stake. I hope it works. And then, yeah, so it really depends on everyone that is in this space to educate others. I mean, it's just education. Most people don't understand it simply. They don't understand technology. They hate. It's very easy to hate, right? You don't need to have an educated opinion to start having an opinion. Okay, that's the first one of the first issues, I guess. But it's just a matter of time, in my opinion. It takes time, and crypto space doubles each year in terms of community size. So I guess it's just a matter of time.
That all makes sense to me. So that would be the main driving force for you guys to have started on Binance Smart Chain, is that it was already delegated proof of stake, not using proof of work mining, not being environmentally unfriendly.
Exactly. And although Binance tries always to be accessible as possible, and that's very important for mainstream. And that was our goal too.
Low fees also add to that accessibility.
Exactly.
Got it. That all makes sense to me. You guys talk about going multi-chain in the future, and you mentioned that you're on ETH but not mainnet. Are you on Ropsten or Rinkeby or something like that?
So we are on the Ethereum blockchain, but we are on a different network. Like you have Binance Chain, you have what do you have? You have Avalanche, I think, too. So
Sure.
there are different chains. Binance has their own blockchain, but they have also Binance Smart Chain, which is on an Ethereum network, and we are using that. And by using that, you can use a bridge to even bridge your NFTs, and that was also on our roadmap to have such a thing. But right now, it's our artists are not really looking for it. So we really want to adapt to our artists, to our audience, and right now they are happy with BNB. It's like an alternative there, right? So
Sure.
they're very happy with it.
If the users are happy, look, I was a product manager for a long time. If you're getting good feedback from the customers, there is not a reason to force change.
Exactly. We just listen.
So how do you choose which charities or social impact networks you guys are working with, you're talking to? There's sort of a lot of fraud in that space. How do you navigate that?
So our first project we did is called Banga, and actually the founder of that project is a person I know personally, and this person has his charity is like 9 years old. He creates schools in Uganda for children, education for children, doing amazing work. And once I described him NFTs, he was like blown away, and he told me, "Look, I think for charities that's amazing too." And so he joined our team as head of charity. That was his idea, and he basically is responsible for making sure you know everything that we do has ethics behind it, and that's also choosing charities. And we do right now once a month a collection for charities, but hopefully we can increase that in the future. But that also gives us enough time to make it as secure as possible, check what we do. And yeah, so head of charity is something that I think not many companies have, and he has a lot of experience, and I'm very confident that we will have the best of the best.
Got it. I love to hear that. So you have somebody really dedicated to just onboarding these charities that is going to really do a vetting process of their own, make sure that the charities you're working with are legitimate. That's nice to hear. Putting a lot of effort into that. So many NFT projects don't last long after launch due to poor management, lack of partnerships. What's going to set you guys apart from all of these projects? What's going to keep you in the space for the long run, and how do you see it playing out?
So I worked in a different company also. We grew from like 10 people to over 70, but we are not that big. But I have to say, I'm really confident to say I'm confident that we have one of the strongest team in crypto. When I look at my team and when I just speak to them, I feel the passion for what we do. I think that's very important. Idea is not that important. I think execution is at the end of the day the most important thing. In crypto, it's very easy to raise money, but using that money efficiently to grow a brand is very hard, and that's why many companies fail in general. It's not just crypto. They lack of quality in the team, I would say. And one of the main goals that we had in the beginning was hiring the right people to execute on our goals. And so, for example, just Sunny, right? For charities, we hired a person that has 9 years experience with charities, created his own charity. And I can go on and on. We don't have that much time, but Bay, Karim, all of those guys, they know their purpose, and they are not there in our team for the money, or we are all underpaid. But yeah, we have this huge vision, and yeah, we are 1 year old. We will keep going, and no matter what, I think that's the biggest strength you can have in a company.
Fantastic. A strong team, the experience that has already worked in each of the sort of individual moving parts here and putting them all together to have a project that's really strong operationally. I think that's a great answer.
Thank you.
What are your top 3 priorities moving into 2022, the rest of this year? And what do we expect to see from you guys?
So Metaverse will be very big. I think many companies don't dare right now to go and do stuff on the Metaverse, and we will have, I would say, the first gallery that is filled with collectors and for good cause on the Metaverse. We bought our first parcel. It was fun. We have a very good designer, multi-award-winning designer that will build something very nice for our artists and collectors. And so that's one of our main priorities. The other priority is to onboard more artists, connect, build a community around those artists and collectors, because this is also one of our biggest goals, to have a community of collectors that are passionate about what we do. And so yeah, this is, I would say, these are two big priorities we have. And I think one big priority is also what I really want to work on is expanding our team, getting more people that are like-minded, that can bring strength to our team to execute on our goals. So this would be our main three priorities.
Awesome. So when you talk about these galleries, are you talking about in the metaverse, or are you talking about real world galleries displaying NFTs?
Initially, we wanted to do real world galleries, but I think metaverse is more fun. You don't need a mask. You don't need to be vaccinated, guys. Just you can come, hang around, watch nice art, chill with us. I think it will be a lot of fun. And metaverse is very accessible. I mean, you don't need even a wallet. You can sign in as a guest, visit our parcel, and just talk to us, have fun.
Fair enough. I did get to see at Art Basel this year the first real NFT gallery I've ever seen, which was pretty interesting. They had some digital art that wasn't NFTs, which I like to mix up too. But I'm excited to be able to see a lot more of that going forward, especially in the metaverse. I think that's going to be a space that's pretty. It's going to see a lot of growth in the next year or two, I think.
I think so too.
So, what would you say if you had to pick one sort of unique value proposition for Orica? What would it be?
I mean, I have to repeat myself. I think our team is really, really strong, and just we made sure that we have just people in our team that really believe in the vision, and that is creating. I mean, it's maybe far ahead, but it's creating an economy that has already doing good built in. Like you buy a Coca-Cola and you pay taxes and you pay for the government and you don't even feel it. And we want to have an economy that is basically like that. And this is why we developed a technology that no one else did, which is sharing royalty. And with sharing royalty, you can consume and you can at the same time do something good. And so yeah, artists can choose how they share or with whom they share their royalty. And that could be also just working with an artist, like artists working with an artist, but can also be that artist creates something and the royalty goes towards something good. And I think that's already very strong. I mean, I can go on and go on probably, but I think that you have built in doing good, which is very strong. I think it's a very good concept for the future.
Yeah, that strong ethical foundation for the project is definitely a unique value prop. No question there. So moving on to security, can you talk to why you chose CertiK and why do you go beyond just an audit and onboard the Skynet solution?
I mean, why we chose CertiK, I don't think there's an alternative, to be honest. We researched and thought about it, and I invested in CertiK ICO, and along that, I mean, I know this project for a long time. To be honest, I think the team is very strong. I believe in their concept, and I also believe in. I mean, after talking with your colleague, sorry for forgetting her name. I was very confident that it's a very good decision to not go. And I mean, there are alternatives. I mean, they are not even worth to mention, to be honest with you. So yeah, after getting the audit, I think even more we were satisfied with our decision.
Fantastic. I love to hear that. I think you were talking about Danny, by the way. She is excellent.
Danny, sorry.
No, you're good.
Greetings to Danny.
So in your audit report, you had centralization privilege issues that were left unresolved. Can you speak to sort of what your plan is around those?
So yeah, they are unsolved. So I have to describe a bit the situation we had back then. So the audit took a bit, I would say, a month, and we wanted to release our marketplace, and the community couldn't even wait one more hour, I think, at that point. So I had conversations with Danny, and she told us that yeah, we can solve it, right, with the developers, but it would take probably one or so more months. We had to develop this time lock. We had already solved a lot of things, but this time lock was missing. For developers, it was a few more weeks, but again, then we have to audit and so on. So it would be probably 1 to 2 more months, and you cannot keep your community waiting for that long in crypto. That's not a good idea. They will hunt you down. They will be in front of my doors. So we had to postpone it for some time, and I guess this is one of our priorities in the coming months to solve that too. And we know already how to solve it, thanks to CertiK. So no big deal, I guess. We have also a very good rating. I think that shows a lot about us.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's good to hear that you're looking at implementing the time lock moving forward. Maybe in the next deployment or something like that, we will keep an eye out and look to see that coming down the pipeline. Well, awesome. And thank you for the kind words about CertiK, of course. We always appreciate that, especially people who have followed us for a long time. So can you speak a little bit about the IP and copyright solutions that Orica is bringing to the digital art space? I was a little bit confused by what you guys are doing in there.
So NFT and copyright, I think that's a very intense topic. We have very, very good lawyers. I think one of the best lawyers in Europe, and we will tackle that 100%. I'm not a legal person, but so just legal things take their time, and copyright is very complicated. For example, if you buy a Bored Ape Yacht Club, I think I saw an announcement from Bored Ape Yacht Club that you own the art, and so that solves some issues. But yeah, so one issue we have to do is that we have with some kind of bill, for example, that once you buy an NFT from an artist, that it really belongs to you, for example. And those solutions we have to build. It just very time intensive, and I'm not a legal person. I think I can't add more to that. It just takes their time, and we are fulfilling all standards right now, everything that is required, and governments are also slow themselves. So NFTs is just a brand new space. It's very hard to solve those issues right now.
Fair enough. I'm very curious to see how that's going to play out in the future, because I do believe that if you buy the art, you should be the owner. It should be yours to do with as you'd like. But we're going to see how the legal side plays out. As you said, I'm not a lawyer either. It's really hard to know what's sort of going to happen in the legal space, and we know things move quite slowly through that space. So I guess we'll have to keep our eyes out and see what developments come down that way. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I think we are wrapping up here. Can you leave us a little bit about where to follow your project, what exciting announcements people should be on the lookout for, all of that type of stuff?
Orica.io is our website. You find all relevant information there. Our Telegram, feel free to join, ask further questions if you have them. We are looking forward to them. And yeah, follow us on Twitter. We had some Coin Telegraph news. We have Financial Times coming, article with them, and exciting things ahead for us. So just join, ask questions. Happy to answer them. I lost your voice.
Sorry about that. I didn't unmute.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for joining today. It's been a fantastic AMA. I think we've had really strong engagement, interesting questions from the audience today. As Denial said, guys, follow up, check out their website, follow their Twitter. Of course, make sure you're following @CertiK Community on Twitter as well. And catch us back here for another episode. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Take care.